Hey everybody, good morning. It's Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. A lot to talk about today. We're going to start with the conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter in the southwest sky tonight, which peaks this evening, and we're going to talk about the outlook for Christmas and maybe some wintry weather down the road. So let's get to the most important thing. Tonight's the night, the peak of the Great Conjunction. But here's the thing. This has been going on for weeks. It will continue for a while after tonight. Tonight is just the highlight because it's the closest they will get. So a lot of questions online. Where do I look? Here's the great thing about this. Everybody can see this. As long as you can see the southwest sky, there's no special area to go to, no special views. Just be able to see the southwest sky. And the reason I bring this up is if you can see where the sun sets in the southwest sky, you can see this tonight. And this is where to look. So this is the sun in real time. I'm showing, actually speeding it up. Tonight, we're going to go through the evening hours. And we'll take this all the way until sunset tonight, which again, here's the southwest sky, southwest, here's west. This time of year, it's the summer or the winter solstice, the sun sets in the southwest sky right there just after 5 o'clock. So at 5:09, the sun is just dipping below the horizon. It's technically below, I think, 5:11, 5:12. I'm going to stop this at around 5:20ish. So around 5:20ish, it's still twilight. You might start to see Jupiter because it's the brighter of the two planets. But again, they're so close together, it's going to look like they're almost on top of each other in one giant planet. So we'll go a little bit quicker through time. And I'm going to stop this roughly around 5:35 this evening. I'm going to stop it right here. So this is 5:35, southwest sky. The sun just set, so where you're looking is basically where the sun set. The moon will be way up here, so if you see the moon, you're going to look down to the right and just above where the sun set. So this is around 5:35. To me, the best time is about an hour after sunset. So I'm going to stop this closer to 6 o'clock in the evening. Now, the reason you can't wait too long after sunset is you can see it's moving below the horizon. It's going to set eventually following the sun. But as you get later towards around 6 o'clock, right here is 6:03, it's plenty dark enough to see it, and it's also still above the horizon. So this is what it looks like tonight. If you have binoculars or telescopes, this is the cool thing about this. Not that this is the Christmas star or the Star of Bethlehem. It's really not astronomically or biblically. But from an astronomical standpoint, this is the closest they have appeared to our eyes in 400 years. That 400 years ago, though, happened during the day. We couldn't see it. 800 years ago, it was at night. But this is the cool thing to me. If you have a telescope, you can actually get both of these in the same viewfinder, which means you typically with your telescope, you'd have to move it to look at different planets. Tonight, you actually could have this all show up in your viewfinder in one single shot. It will look amazing. You will actually see the moons of Jupiter as well. And if you've got a really good telescope, you'll see Titan, which is the moon of Saturn. If you get in real close, if you have a really good telescope, you'll actually see some of those clouds and the storm or the eye on Jupiter, and you could see actually the rings around Saturn. But to the naked eye, if you don't have any instruments or just going out with the kids in the backyard, that's what it'll look like. So what if we don't have clear skies tonight? There's a small chance we could have clouds, but I think most of us will be okay. We actually should be able to see it. Here's the cool thing. Tomorrow night, the exact same time, it will look exactly the same. So tonight, they're 0.1 degree apart. Tomorrow, they're 0.17 degrees apart. So they're technically the same. Like I joked on Twitter, it's like the difference between $4.99 and $5. It's basically going to look the same. But if you want to see it tonight, that's what it'll look like. Tomorrow night, it'll look like this. Even if you want to wait till Wednesday, it'll look like this. Now, on Christmas Eve, they start getting a little bit farther apart. And on Christmas Day, they're even farther apart. So here's the cool thing. If you can't see it tonight, let's say we have clouds, whatever, you still got a chance to see it up until probably about the 30th. They get pretty low in the sky and they start to get really hard to see. And eventually, as we go into January, they get far apart and they'll be below the horizon. So tonight's the night to see them closest together. But if you miss it, don't worry. They'll be visible through the rest of the week. So real quickly, let's talk about cloud cover tonight. This is the cloud cover. Again, the blue, gray are clouds. This is basically at noon today. We'll go into the evening hours. I'll stop this at 5 o'clock around sunset. 6 o'clock is the best time to see the planets, and you can see Most of the coverage of clouds is pretty light. Some clouds in the mountains in north, but looks like a pretty good shot to see it tonight. Remember, the whole sky doesn't have to be clear, just that southwest corner of the sky where the two planets are coming together for the great conjunction tonight. So looks good tonight, but again, if you can't see it tonight, tomorrow night could be just as good. I'll go into tomorrow. You could see Wednesday afternoon some clouds, maybe clearing out late tomorrow. So tomorrow might not be as good as tonight. So that's why I say tonight, if you get a chance, go see it. But if you can't see it tonight, take another try tomorrow. All right, next, let's quickly talk about the Christmas Day forecast. Again, no white Christmas expected outside of the mountains, but it will be incredibly cold. Take a look at the forecast as we go through time. I'll show you the big front coming through on Christmas Eve. This is coming through. This is based on the GFS model coming through Christmas Eve. You see the front there. The thing that we'll have to watch is potentially some strong thunderstorms and really gusty winds. The front blasts through here on the GFS, at least during the day on Christmas Eve. So this is like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, comes blasting through. So it's long gone by Christmas Eve. And then by Christmas Day, we wake up 7 a.m., mostly sunny, cold, but some mountain snow showers. Going into the afternoon, looks cold and dry, maybe highs only in the 30s, but again, no snow. Let's take a look at the European model. It shows a little slower cold front. It arrives about, I'd say, 6 hours slower. So this is 1 o'clock on Christmas Eve. It's still around by 7 p.m. So it's lingering a little bit longer, but it's very sharp. And when I look at this, the thing that I look at is right here, potentially some of these could be strong storms. So it's not a high chance right now, but actually the severe weather risk is much higher on Christmas Eve than the snow chance. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Though overall, Christmas Eve looks like it's going to be really wet and windy. Here comes the system blasting through. So by Christmas morning, 7 a.m., it's cold, it's dry, some mountain snow showers, and we're long gone. So here's a look at the outlook. I show you this, the Weather Prediction Center for measurable snow on Christmas Eve. It looks like the mountains have a 30 to 50% chance. There is a small 10% chance of some flurries east of the mountains. I think that's a little overdone, though. If we did see a stray flurry at the tail end, I think it would be up here on Interstate 40. But even there, we're not looking at accumulations at all. And real quickly, just to show you the Schref mean, this is basically through 7 p.m. Christmas Eve. It does show some snow chances over in Tennessee and the mountains, but a big goose egg, I'm afraid, east of the mountains, kind of what we expected. Now, let me show you some of those ensembles real quickly, just to reaffirm that we don't see any snow on Christmas. Again, we've got zeros, even though there's a trace with 3 of the ensemble members of the GFS. And if I look at the Euro, it looks like maybe a couple, but this looks actually after Christmas. These show up the 26th, so Christmas night. So you're still looking at about a 3 or 4% chance based on ensembles. But I will tell you this, the cold front moves through. Behind it, you see some of the ensembles starting to hint at this. That's when we start to look for snow after the Arctic front. The Arctic front is never the one that brings you snow because the cold air is chasing the moisture. The chance for snow, I think, is coming after Christmas, maybe into the new year, once we get the cold air established. So that is certainly something I'll be keeping an eye on as we go into the end of the month. But right now, chances of a white Christmas are pretty much near their historical average of about 3%. Maybe a little bit higher this year because of the cold air. But the cold temperatures are the key part. In fact, let me show you those real quickly. I'm gonna pop these up, and you can see Christmas Day right now. The model blend shows a high of just 40 degrees, a morning low of 27, and then the day after, the morning low could be 23. So Christmas night into the 26th, a low of 23, possibly colder than that. So really cold air shaping up for Christmas and the day after. And you can see Christmas Eve, because of that cold front, bringing in all that warm air and the chance of storms, actually pretty warm with temperatures near 60. Of course, I'll post updates throughout the next couple of days as we get closer. And as always, if you get some great shots of Saturn and Jupiter night, please share them to me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'd love to share some of the great ones with other people, especially if you get a great telescope shot for all of you with telescopes out there. I love seeing those. And you're going to make me end up buying a telescope if I keep seeing them. So please send them my way. Sorry this was so long, but there was a lot to talk about today. Have a great Monday, everybody.